What's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Welcome back to The Razor's Edge. My name is Chris, here at the final day of ArcTanGent this year, and I'm joined by none other than Between the Buried and Me. It's an absolute pleasure, guys. How are we both doing?
Doing great.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So we're between sets here at this festival because, for those who don't know, you guys played yesterday where you played your album Colours in full. It was absolutely incredible. Tent was rammed, atmosphere was amazing. I was actually chatting with a fan straight after who was just elated. He was loving it. And I asked him if he had any budding questions for you, and all he could muster was, what the hell just happened? so, was that the first time you played Colours in the UK in full?
No, we had played it one time in the Underworld in London, and that was 2000. Who knows? That
Maybe
was like
8, 9, like yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only time we'd ever played an album in full in Europe, and yeah, that was our last time doing it.
It's been a long time coming doing that again, for sure. It's definitely one of the seminal albums, I think, for a lot of your fans. You guys, of course, nowadays are no stranger to playing your albums in full. What made you want to do that this weekend here at ArcTanGent, do a second set just for that?
Yeah, I think it was because on our last album cycle we spent so much time, because obviously it was Colours 2, you know, referencing that album, and the tour cycle ended with us playing Colours and Colours 2 together, and so I think probably when our booking agent was fielding offers and stuff, that idea was probably out there and then floated back to us. But then we've also been mixing a shorter set that we're playing today that's a mix of new stuff with, I mean, stuff that goes all the way back to Alaska. It's all over the place, so it's fun to be able to like try to weave as much of the whole weird Between the Buried and Me story as you can.
Yeah, cool, because a lot of bands these days, they'll do an album in full when it's like a big nostalgia thing or a one-off event or whatnot, but you guys seem to do it fairly frequently. What makes you guys want to properly like showcase your albums in full like that?
Because it kind of represents the material a little bit better when you can kind of showcase the whole thing in its totality, because it's very hard. We have such an eclectic range of songs. It's challenging for us to like put together a set list that's just a hodgepodge of different songs pulled from different albums, and honestly we're one of the cases in which it makes more sense musically, production wise, thematically to kind of play the whole album in full. And plus it's a bonus too, especially like playing the older ones. Like people have a really cool nostalgic attachment to a lot of those records, especially Colours. And it's nice. It's like a nice little treat for them to get to see those things, especially people that have like come across the band, you know, later in life or like later in our career, and they're like, oh, I never got to see this album, never got to see them play these songs, blah blah blah. It's like more than likely we are going to play those again eventually.
Yeah.
So you're in luck. Yeah,
I think the biggest key is just that we've been able to stay a band so long that we come up on these 10-year, 20-year anniversaries, and that there are always people on these albums that are just tuning in, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I never got to see Parallax 2. I never saw Coma Ecliptic, you know? So that to us is a trip, because I think we just assume everyone's our age and has been with us and has seen, been through the same stuff we have been, and that's super cool, so.
Yeah, brilliant. As I say, I think Colours, a lot of fans look back as like a seminal moment in your career. How do you guys look back on that album? What does it represent to you guys?
I kind of agree. I think it was a sort of a musically and just kind of it was just very much a pivotal moment in our career, because we had just come off Ozfest, and that was a great learning lesson for us, in which we learned what we didn't want to be. And it was great because we kind of freed ourselves from all that stuff and just kind of wanted to write a wacky, proggy record that we'd always wanted to write, and we kind of threw the rule book out and wrote a record that was genuine to us at the time, and it still is to this day. And I think that's why it worked. It was just like, the stars aligned sort of as far as the timing and the way we felt as a band at that time.
Yeah, sweet. So looking ahead, you guys are finally releasing your next album on September 12th. You're dropping the album The Blue Nowhere. So I think it's been quite the gap between the last two. So what's been the hold up?
Well, the last one came out in 2021, Colors 2. Honestly, we had like a 3 or 4 year touring cycle on it because we had plans in 2020 that obviously got shifted a year.
Yeah.
So our years for like 21, 22 into 23 all had like basically like kind of 2 tours a year, where everything was getting spaced out. And so we just had a longer run, and we knew we were going to end it doing a special Colors and Colors 2 tour where we were in one city for 2 nights in America. I think we did like 17 cities, just blew it out. So much music in our heads, and then we shut down. And honestly, this record, we didn't like blaze through it, but it all like flowed together and came like really easily over the course of that kind of middle part of last year. So
Sure. Do you guys normally blaze through albums, or is it normally a more arduous process?
Well, no, we honestly don't really have any shortage of material to pick from. Honestly, it's kind of a blessing and a curse in a way, because we almost at times have too much material to kind of pick from. So that's really the only sort of, I guess you could consider, arduous process of it, is kind of like picking the stuff that we want to be able to use, and formulating all the songs from the material that we think would flow well together. That's honestly our big challenge, man. It's kind of wild that the band's been around. I mean, we've been in the band for like 20 years, and we kind of don't, knock on wood, don't really have writer's block or anything. We still got stuff that we're creatively pumping out. It's wild.
yeah, it's like, as we found, it's kind of rare, but we're a band with like 4 composers in the band where everyone's writing. So it's like if everyone at the beginning puts forward a song idea plus like an idea for something else, and you go through and you're like, well, yeah, I dig that, I can work on that, or I hear something there, then all of a sudden you've got a basis of something that you can dig into, and it's really fun. And then you're in reaction mode, really. That's what so much of our writing over the years is someone sends an idea and just a series of reactions off of it.
Sure. Do you guys ever consider not necessarily a concept for an album, but does a new song have to do the songs for an album have to have a similar sort of feel or drive? Obviously you do your albums in full. Is that because they're one big construct, basically? I don't know if I'm making any sense here.
You totally are. Yeah, I guess it circles back to what we were talking about before. It does kind of have each album sort of has its own unique identity, and that I guess that's an overall goal that we like to try to achieve, whether it be musically, conceptually. We kind of want to have, at least, we want it to sound like BT Band, but have it be sort of distinct. And so that's why it's it feels good just playing those albums in their entirety, because it just makes more sense, thematically, I guess you could say.
Sure. Yeah. I know there's probably a huge question about an album from you guys specifically, but what can fans expect from the new album?
It's a wild ride. Even the shift from song 1 to song 2, it's one of my favorite moments on the record, but it's just, you're just instantly thrown somewhere else, and it's so fun. And there's just so much of that throughout the record, where it's, if it's from track to track, or in the middle of a track, to it's a ride, and you're always kind of going somewhere else.
Yeah. Did you see that movie Barbarian?
I have not.
Dude, there's just a crazy scene in it where it's okay, half the movie takes place basically in this creepy basement.
Right.
And they're there's this monster lady that gets revealed, or whatever, spoiler alert. And then it immediately shifts to
You think that's
guy.
the movie.
You think that's the movie. And then it immediately shifts to this guy who's just driving his car down the highway in California.
It takes place in like this shitty neighborhood in Michigan, like super scary. And then all of a sudden you're by the water in California. You're like, what the hell is this movie? It's all upbeat.
Yeah, you think they like made a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, they spliced two movies together, and then you come to find out it's like towards the end of the movie, as it kind of progresses, it brings those two stories together. And
It's
you're like, oh my
it's
God,
pretty
that's
genius.
brilliant.
Yeah,
It kind of feels like that a little bit.
a lot of smash cuts. Yeah.
Fair enough. Any plans to play this album in full?
I mean, probably. Yeah.
Probably will. Definitely another 10 years from now.
I'll tell us a spoiler for what's coming, that there's a scary part of the record to learn.
Yeah.
And so when we get that under our belts, we'll play it in full.
Yeah, there is a specific song that's like, it's a doozy. It's a doozy.
Fair enough. And I know we've alluded to it earlier, but what can people expect from your second set this weekend?
It covers a 20-year gap in the
It does,
band.
yeah, it really does. I think it's very challenging for us to pick a set that kind of showcases, all our musical themes, so to speak. But I think this one does very well, and I think fans will be very satisfied. And if they're not, they can ask ArcTanGent for their money back. I don't know what the clause is for tickets and all that stuff, but we can work something out.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. So, nearly done. However, I'm ending all these interviews the same way every time, with some random quick-fire questions that have nothing to do with anything. Just some random shit. Feel free to think as long or as short as you want. Feel free to fight it out. You don't have to agree. We'll start with the absolute classic. Tea versus coffee.
Coffee.
Absolutely. Traditional metal or modern metal?
I guess traditional. Maybe. I guess. I don't know.
I might have to go modern. Yeah.
Fair enough. Who inspires you?
In a quick. I don't know.
My wife does, big time. Yeah, as far as
I'll say nature.
yeah.
Brilliant. Film or TV show?
Film.
Film. Yeah.
Favorite film?
Mulholland
Shit.
Drive.
I have a rotating top 5, but I go back to the Prestige a lot.
Oh.
Prestige is
Cool. Summer or winter?
summer for me.
Yeah, I grew up in a winter hellscape, but our winters have been so mild in North Carolina and the summer's so brutal that I'm leaning more winter nowadays.
Yeah.
I also love wearing long sleeves.
Yeah, talk to me in like 15 years.
Yeah.
No, winter's clearly better.
So I assure you, most UK summers are not like this.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
past or future?
Whoa, future.
Future.
Nice. And final question: favorite Between the Buried and Me song?
Oh man.
Silent Flight Parliament. I'll say it.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good answer. I'll say this: the most fun one for me is Voice of Trespass. So that in a way, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you so much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you.
Thank
It's
you.
been great.
Thank you, brother.
No worries. I've been Chris with the Razor's Edge. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news, reviews, interviews, and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.